Hello, good evening, or good morning, wherever you are. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is another live stream. Today, I'm gonna share with you my thoughts about Mr. the great Jordan Peterson. Yes. Now, if you allow me, please let me check my audio, like always, so I don't commit the same mistake as before. Peterson. Okay. Checking audio real quick. Hey, I'm there on YouTube. Okay, this is gonna take just 1 minute. Also, besides checking my audio, I want to make sure that I can see the chats just in case anybody wants to ask a question or leave a comment. I'll be happy to respond. I think everything looks good on this live stream. If anybody out there is listening or watching, be so kind to let me know if there's something wrong with the image or audio. This live stream is being streamed in two different outputs, horizontal and vertical. So I'm trying to look at both at the same time, make sure everything is good. So today, I'm going to share with you my thoughts about Mr. Jordan Peterson. Why do I say it like that? I don't know. I think I say it like that because it's just my point of view. I might not agree with everything Mr. Peterson says, but I think he's a great human being, putting himself out there, saying the things that he says, doing the things that he do. I think the guy has a lot of guts. Also, very smart, very smart. So anything I say in this live stream about Jordan Peterson might sound that I'm talking against him or in favor of him. It depends on how you look at things. But the reason that I wanted to talk, Carlitos Javier, hello, welcome. The reason I wanted to talk about Jordan Peterson is because for me it's a little bit of an enigma. The way he talks, the way he acts. To be honest with you, I have listened to him talk on some of his videos and I get lost. Probably, I don't know, 5 minutes down the road. Because he talks in a very eloquent way. I am not very eloquent, as you might already notice. But there's something about Jordan Peterson that caught my attention. You know, hopefully he doesn't get to see this video because I don't know how he would react to it. If you do, sir, if you get to watch this video, I share my thoughts about you with the most possible respect. before I share with you my thoughts, more thoughts about Jordan Peterson and something that I noticed about him, I would like to share with you a video of him talking when he was asked if he believed in God. So let's see if I can do this without breaking something. Let's see a little video. It's very short. It's a short video.
My last question for you is such a curious.
Okay, where did he go?
So then,
I started breaking things. That's how I roll. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can hear also the audio. Here we go.
Do you believe in God?
I don't think that's anybody's business. I think it's the most private question you can ask someone. But then I would say also, what's the right response to that? By their fruits you will know them. How's that?
Well,
That's
let me ask
the
you a
right
different
question.
question then. Do you think there is a God?
I'm terrified that there might be, Piers. How's that? And I'm not trying to be a smartass when I'm making that comment either. Like they say, it's an Old Testament saying, I believe, that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and that is actually about as true a statement as you could manage in such a short phrase. I'll stake my life on the proposition that God exists. How's that?
Well,
Is
let
that
me
an
a-
answer?
Well,
Because that's
let-
the right answer.
I would ask you, here's my supplementary. Do you ever pray?
Always.
Who do you pray to?
The spirit that protects you from hell.
But that many people would say is God.
Hey, sounds good to me.
Wow. For me, this is so interesting, so revealing to hear such a smart human being responding to this extremely important question and the words that he uses. If you are a believer in the God of the Bible or any God, let's take this a little bit apart, because I think sometimes Jordan Peterson man, how do I say this? Because I'm having a little bit of a difficult time saying what I'm going to say, because I respect this gentleman a lot. But there's something that I notice about him that might contradict the persona that he is showing. Before I continue talking, which I don't know if it's going to be good, let's listen to some of the words that he say, because if you are a believer and you will listen to what he says, you will do one of those things like, hey, you see, Jordan Peterson, he's saying this, he believes in God. But listen to the words.
Do you believe in God?
I don't think that's anybody's business. I think it's the most private question you can ask someone. But then I would say also, what's the right response to that? By their fruits you will know them. How's that?
Well,
That's
let
the
me
right response to
ask
that
you a different question then. Do you think there is a God?
I'm terrified that there might be.
He's terrified that there might be a God. I wonder why. I think that came out naturally from him. Why would Jordan Peterson would be terrified thinking that the God of the Bible might be real? I detect some probably fear. No, maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe he's not talking about fear.
Pierce, how's that? And I'm not trying to be a smartass when I'm making that comment either. Like they say, it's an Old Testament saying, I believe, that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, and that is actually about as true a statement.
The fear of God. He's terrified that there might be a God, and then he also responds with the word fear. That's very revealing. I think Jordan Peterson, his honest, transparent part came out there. Probably he didn't want to say these things, but they came out. He's fearful of the God. Let's hear this last part.
Statement as you could manage in such a short phrase. I'll stake my life on the proposition that God exists. How's that?
Well,
Is
let
that
me
an
a-
answer?
Well,
Because that's
let-
the right answer.
I would ask you, here's my supplementary. Do you ever pray?
Always.
Who do you pray to?
The spirit that protects you from hell.
But that
Are you going to ignore what he's saying? This is what you, as a believer, think to yourself very quietly when you think about God. Because behind every believer, there is a person, of course, like I always say, that is not being honest. And apart from that, there's a very fearful person. So it's very convenient sounds for Mr. Peterson to believe in the God. I think it's convenient because of hell, of pain. He talks about fear. So if you believe in the God of the Bible, are you doing it because out of love? Or you are just avoiding pain like Mr. Peterson is describing? I think he's being honest. He doesn't want to suffer. He don't want his family to suffer. When I say this is revealing, it's because if this is really a loving God, you should not be fearful of him. No. Because then your love for this God is not real. You're just avoiding pain.
many people would say is God.
Hey, sounds good to me.
So when you hear me say on my live streams or my videos, always saying the same thing, the God feels good, I believe. The God doesn't feel good, I don't believe. Hey, Jordan Peterson, the God feels good. That's good for me. Jordan Peterson. When I look into Jordan Peterson's eyes, I admit that I might be looking at a reflection of myself. Probably I'm seeing things that I cannot or do not want to see on myself. Probably. But when I look into Jordan Peterson's eyes, I see pain. I can see trauma. Sir, what happened? I dare to ask this question. I can be 100 absolutely wrong on what I'm saying. I repeat, I'm seeing myself in his eyes, my own pain. So I could be wrong about what I'm saying. That when I look into his eyes, I see pain and I see trauma. Something happened because the feel is being somehow externalized on him. Have you ever seen, if you know a little bit about electricity, you know that when you apply a current in through a resistance, that resistance has a limit. If you apply too much current through that resistance, it's gonna get hot and hot and hot until it burns and probably explodes. Same thing with human beings. Energy goes through us, and if that energy doesn't flow in the rate that it's supposed to flow, and there's a resistance in our system, it's gonna cause pain. And I can see this resistance in him because the body doesn't lie. I'm gonna say it for the third time. I could be wrong about everything I'm saying. And saying that about Mr. Jordan Peterson, I do not say it in a negative way. This is a human being just like you and me, trying to live life, making the same mistakes that probably you and me are making. I think I'm more respectful of him because he's putting himself out there to be possibly criticized, just like I'm doing right now. And probably that would not feel good to him. Seeing some of the responses to the questions asked to him, I can see and some of his answers that there is resistance. Actually, the way he puts his body, I could be wrong. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. Don't listen to me. I find it interesting and most of the stuff that he says and he talks about, but sometimes it's very hard to concentrate because in the wording, in the way he says things, he's hiding something. He goes around and around when he talks about something, and I think in a way is hiding something, trying to take attention away from the center, from the core. I look at his eyes. Again, something happened. Man, I feel bad about saying these things because in a way, I feel like, hey, it's okay that you can do a videos. Everybody can watch it. Everybody knows who Jordan Peterson is. So I think I decided to make this video because when he refers to God, if you know my videos, you know that I talk a lot about the craziness about any God. And here I find Jordan Peterson talking about God and the way he believes in the God in a very particular way. I would say it the way that feels good to him. You know, Mr. Jordan Peterson, if you get to see this video, I'm a nobody in the YouTube world. I admit it. I'm okay with that. In the case, you know, that I could be some what accurate in what I'm saying, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. I understand that I'm not in the level, on your level. And this conversation doesn't have to be on a live stream. It doesn't have to be recorded. I just want to understand how you see life, because you are a very smart guy. I can tell that a mile away. So this is just my thoughts about Jordan Peterson. Man, I cannot say the word Jordan. Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson. And wow, his daughter, beautiful, very smart too. Yes. So I'm interested to know if something happened, sir. What happened? Maybe you already talking to someone about it, but I feel that there's still something bothering there. I heard that he was having health problems. I don't know the details. I wish prompt recuperation, get better soon, get back on the spotlight, on the cameras, and continue doing what you do to make people think and to try to make this world a better world, which I respect. Might not agree with the way you see life, but I do respect your courage to be out there sharing your thoughts. So, to anybody out there that believes in God, probably you watch and you heard what he said in this video that I just played. Maybe if you wait until this live stream is over and you go back and hear him say what he thinks about God and how he feels about God, because I think he described what most believers think and feel quietly. They don't tell anybody. Most believers are terrified of the God. Most believers fear the God, and that's no way to live life. Living life in fear, that has nothing to do with love. So in his answers, again, he revealed a lot. I think that living a life of fear and calling it a life of love is not gonna get you anywhere in this life, anywhere good. Because in a way you're living a lie, calling it love and the love of God, when in reality is fear. And don't feel bad about having those thoughts and those feelings about, you know what, I think that God, why do I fear God? He's supposed to be loving. He would not hurt me. He will destroy you like a cockroach. If you don't love him. What a way to live life in total fear. Carlitos Javier, because this live stream has almost no views. You're totally right, man. I talk about something that is not very attractive to people. I don't care. I think I'm being as honest as possible and as transparent as possible about this information. I'm one of those people that are not willing to lie to myself or to be dishonest, just to be in good status with the God? No. I probably innocently defy the God. I call him crazy. I call the God nuts. I call the God bully. I call the God psychopath. I call the God petulant. I call the God childish. I call the God. Should I continue? Because I truly believe this God from one of these books that people call the Bible is totally out of his mind. Hey, that's one more thing I call the God, out of his mind. If you don't hear me say on the last live stream or the one before, the perfect, loving, most powerful being in the universe couldn't come up with any better plan than killing his only son, orchestrating an act of violence. So you turn your attention to him and love him. The only reason you don't understand, or you don't want to understand this, and you don't accept it, you don't want to accept it again, is because the emotional attachment you have to the God. It's not convenient for you at this moment. That's fine. Continue believing in the God, no problem. It will come the time that the God will no longer feel good and you will drop the God. And probably you will shop around for another God, or just find another God in something else or in someone else. That's the sad part. If you ever heard someone saying, hey, what's the word? I converted. I converted from this religion to this religion. You know why people, when they say this, they go into dishonesty? They use the word convert. Why do they use the word convert? Because they are not going to say that I stopped believing in one God to believe in the other God. Someone could ask this person, like, wait a second, so what happened to the other God? It's no longer God? And this one is God? Maybe in 1 year you're going to say that God is not really God, and then you're going to switch to a third God? Believing in gods, like I always say, has nothing to do with believing in gods. It has to do with your feelings. You're having this relationship with yourself, and there's trouble with this relationship with yourself. You cannot fix it, and you trying to find a solution externally. You know, like you find a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you hang from that person emotionally. You're doing the same thing with a God. Someone can tell me, no, you're wrong. Tell me why. I could be wrong. But just tell me why. Tell me just one reason out of 1,000 reasons that you have. Just one. That you believe in a God, in any of the gods available right now, that has nothing to do with the way you feel. I'm challenging you. Challenging you to come up with just one reason to believe in the particular God that you believe in from the particular book that doesn't relate to your feelings. I see some people do this word salad to try to, do aerobatics to explain that there's other reasons other than the way I feel about the God. I think at the end that's very dishonest. Melissa Tejada. Hi. welcome to my channel and my live stream. To anybody out there that wants to ask me any questions, I'll be happy to respond. So, going back to Jordan Peterson, I have never met him, never spoke with him, but I don't shy away from having a conversation with any human being where a conversation could be fruitful. Why do I say that? Excuse me. Because some people have invited me to have a debate about their particular God. And I say, no, thank you, not interested. I'll prefer to debate the wall. I'll have a more fruitful conversation. And besides that, if God is real, we would not be having a debate. Don't you think so? So no, we can have a conversation about your particular God from your particular book. And maybe I would like to understand if there's another reason to believe in the God from that particular book that doesn't have to do with your feelings. I know people don't like to hear me say that your interest is not the God. You're not interested in the God. You are interested in the feelings you get from believing in the God. That's the way it works. And I find it interesting that I hear one of the smartest person on this earth expressing just that. So maybe I am not that wrong about what I'm noticing. Some people tells me, but Javier, people have to believe in something. Otherwise, this earth and people start killing themselves and doing crazy stuff. No. That's what you learn to say to protect your feelings. Because remember, you're emotionally attached to the God. So you have to protect that relationship, because if that relationship with that God is broken, you're going to be hurting emotionally, and you don't want that. Not good. Just like Jordan Peterson just said on the video, the God feels good. Don't bother me. Leave me alone with my God. Oh, and I just remember the other day, what's his name? Russell Brand, I think his name, saying a prayer in TP USA, one of these presentations. Man, wow, that was crazy. Crazy openly. I think his name is Russell Brand, if I'm not mistaken. He recently, or a few years ago, switched from one God to another. Probably in 2-3 years, he's going to switch back to another God. I'm not making fun. Sometimes my laugh comes out naturally. Jordan Peterson is hard. It's really hard to hear him talk, the way he talks, the things that he talk about, and not think that in a way he's teaching what he must learn. I think that's a peculiarity about teachers. Sometimes they teach what they have to learn. There's an incongruency in his eyes, his face, the way he sits, the things that he talks, the answer that he gives. Something is misaligned. I can tell. If I had a conversation with this gentleman, that would be interesting to find out what's going on. It's just out of curiosity, just like a human being. Probably talking, if you have a problem in your life, any problem in the three categories, health, money, or relationships, I think that one of the things that you could do that is very beneficial is to speak with someone that is interested in you going back to your normal self to enjoy life. I think that could be very beneficial. And I think I fall under that category. You might don't know me personally, but in a way, I don't have to go into details. I get paid to solve other people's problems. In a way, in a particular way. One of the things that cuts my attention a lot is humanity, human beings. What are we doing in this earth? What is our goal? I have the same questions that you have. It's just that I have this appetite to understand what's going on. Where is this God? Is this God from this book? I don't think this is real. It sounds very human God. Gets upset, starts killing. He uses a divine machine gun. I think there's something else bigger, way bigger. I would think that there's gonna be people on this earth that is not in their best interest that you open your eyes and you expand and you see other possibilities about life. I don't think there's people that are going to be happy. Who am I be talking? People that control you, that are controlling us right now. They're not going to be happy. Hey, what are you doing? The God is in the book. Read the book. No, but I feel like, God is more. No. That's the devil talking to you. That's the devil. Fight the devil. Fight the devil. Fight the enemy. Get into the book. Get your face on the book. Look. Chronicles 18 says that you have to fight the devil. I think it's hilarious. People expanding their consciousness, learning more, expanding humanity's consciousness. Some people, I think, are against that. They don't want that because probably it's going to level the opportunities for everybody. And some people don't like that out of fear. Talking a little bit about psychology, because Jordan Peterson, if I'm not mistaken, he's a psychologist or psychiatrist or something like that. I think he's a psychologist. This picture of him, I think I couldn't take a better picture. Talking about the psychology, one of the reasons that I also do these live streams is I offer sometimes that if anybody out there is going through a health problem, economical problem, or relationship problems, I offer to give my humble opinion. I am not in the position to give advice to anyone. Actually, I'm open to be given advice. But at least there's one thing that is very clear in my mind, that whatever problem you're having right now is going to fall in three categories. You can correct me if I'm wrong. There's going to be, in your life, if you have a problem, it's going to be health, it's going to be money, or it's going to be relationship. In this relationship falls your relationship with God, and it falls your relationship with guess who? With yourself, or your spouse, or your family, your friends, co-workers. If you have a problem, it's going to fall on one of those three categories. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if you have a problem with your spouse, my boyfriend doesn't love me anymore, we're growing apart, I'm willing to give you my humble opinion about the situation. And probably someone learned something out there. If you have a girlfriend, your girlfriend is growing apart from you, maybe I can give you a humble opinion. But anyways, that's part of the reasons that I do this, also this live stream. Maybe try to help someone out there, or for someone to help me. I don't know. I don't have the answers to all the questions in life. This video, going back to Jordan Peterson, again, I think I already mentioned it. If you're a believer, I think if you are really a believer and want to understand more God, I think this short video, I think lasts like 20 seconds, is going to reveal your internal feelings and thoughts back to yourself. Again, because this guy is very smart, and sometimes I can see in his videos that you ask him a question about God and he laughs and he stays quiet. I can tell most likely why. Honesty and believing in God don't go together, like I always say on my videos. So this guy, Jordan Peterson, is like, yes, I believe, I believe. And another part of him says, I don't believe. I find it so interesting. I don't know if you notice, you see on the picture, probably, I don't know if, let me see. I don't want to remove my image because then I break something. But if you're watching this on the vertical live stream, Jordan Peterson is wearing a jacket or a coat that has two different colors, yellow and red. Probably he's wearing that because he likes flashy, or maybe he wants to transmit a message. But I think it also show his internal emotions. They're fighting. You ask him, do you believe in God? He smiles. He doesn't give you a straight answer. He might get quiet. It's like, this morning I woke up and I was believing. But by the afternoon I was like, no, man. This internal conflict that will never, ever, ever go away when you believe in any of the available gods today. You believe in one of those gods, you're going to have internal conflicts. And those conflicts will never go away. You can shut them down. You can try to, fight them. But they will always be there. Because if you're a human being, you have thoughts, you have reason, you have logic. And all those things go against the gods. Excuse me. Gotta drink some water. So Jordan Peterson gets asked a question about God. I think he started doing like the Transformer. It's like, yes, no, I believe, I don't. This is something that is, for myself. This is privacy. And then 10 seconds later, he's like, yes, I believe. Of course, I believe. It's a humongous contradiction inside and then outside. I think it's very hard for him to keep things, to himself. With the exception, if I'm not mistaken, of whatever happened to him that is bothering him until today. Mr. Jordan Peterson, it sucks that at our age, we have not been able to figure some things out yet. I know it sucks. It feels awful, especially in the quiet moments, especially in the moments where we are alone. Those thoughts, those feelings, they don't go away ever. It's like corrosion inside. It's very hard to live life with this internal corrosion, with this internal friction. It hurts inside. I stand still, stay quiet, and it start hurting in the chest, in the stomach. I feel like crying. It still bothers me what happened. Am I in the right direction? Maybe not. I say these things out of respect. And I apologize doing this on a live stream on YouTube. But I don't see any other way. Probably this video gets to you somehow. People share it and gets to you. There's someone in YouTube talking about you and at the same time talking to you in a different way, somehow interested in the human being. Just like in a way I'm interested in myself, about improving myself, getting better, getting more centered, enjoying life more. You know what I mean? I think you know. So, no way. It's been an hour since I started this live stream. Sometimes I get carried away talking, and then I'm like, whoa, it's been 20 minutes. When I look, it's like 1 hour. Whoa. I always say on my live streams that if nobody asks me any questions, nobody has any comments, I just shut it down, because I cannot do like other people do, like they talk for 3-4 hours. No. I cannot do that unless someone asks me a question that get us to have a conversation. In these live streams, I understand that I can also do I can have someone join me on video. I've never done it before myself. I have participated with other people on their channels where I'm invited, and then I talk to the person on the live stream, but I've never done it myself. But maybe I can try it one time. Someone wants to ask me any questions about my crazy way of living and thinking about life, that I think is very different from most people. Not that I am right, but for my life, for the roads that I have walked, the path that I have walked in this life, I feel way better thinking the way I think. And in case you don't know it, the way I think is staying away, as far away as possible from any God. Any. Today, I saw a short video of someone talking about the Bible and all the synchronicities about the Bible. And they go like, you see, You see, this is impossible for a human being to create this. And for that reason, God is real. Anybody that you see in the internet, watch on the internet, hear on the internet talking about a God, the first question I would think you would ask yourself is if this person is getting money from talking about the particular God that they're talking about. If the answer is yes, the information could be compromised. Just know that. Just ask the question. If this person making any money or getting any benefits, having that the God they're talking about is real, because if it's not real, then their income is going to be affected. Man, be careful. You know, if you're going to be listening to these people, the information can be compromised. So this guy was saying, yes, all these synchronicities in the Bible is just, it has to be authored by the God of the Bible itself. What a coincidence. But the person's income or benefits from the information itself. So of course the God is going to be real. If not, it's going to be affected negatively. But I was amazed by the comments. Some of the people were saying, hey, pray for my son, pray for my brother, because I talked to them about God and they don't want to listen. And I'm here like, oh, are you serious? How about you keep the God to yourself? You know, if you're happy yourself with the God, why you want to obviously bother other people because you know they're getting bothered by your information about the God that you believe from one of the books. They don't want to know about it, and you continue to hit him in the head with the same information. What does that tell you about the God? Why you're so desperate in sharing this belief you have about a particular God? And that's the reason why so many families grow apart. Some sons and daughters don't want to know anything about their parents because they think their parents are crazy, talking about gods like if the God is real. And they don't talk about their belief about the God. So that's one of the reasons I always say that a God will always bring with him or her conflict and division. But anyways, it's been an hour. I don't have any questions on the chat from what I can see. Some people say hi. Carlitos Javier say hello. Carlitos Javier said, because this live stream has almost no views. No, man, he has no views. No, almost. No views. And Melissa Tejada said hi. I find it some interesting that almost in every live stream I make, some people say hi. I think probably it's a template or something that YouTube has. But anyways, I appreciate that someone takes the time to at least say hi. They don't stick around. I understand this information is not very popular. I'm not a very good, also, I admit it, I'm not very good at talking. I hate the lights, I hate the camera, but sometimes I don't do what I feel good at doing, but I do what I have to do. If you don't understand what I just said, probably you'll understand it later. But anyways, if anybody out there watching, thank you for watching this live stream. If you're watching this after it's been recorded, which I can see that people are watching my live streams after the fact, I appreciate it also. So have a great one and see you in the next one.